Okay, I'm live. I had some trouble with that, so that my husband caught up to me. I think that's my husband behind me. Pretty sure. Anyway, driving up to the Fixer Upper. That's what I got to do. I got to sell her and make some money. I'm excited to get to work on it today. The walls are starting to look like good solid walls. And it's a nice sunny day again. Yay! And it's above freezing. What more could I hope for? Not sure if that is my husband or not. It's probably not because he's not driving like extremely fast. I hope you guys are all having a great Thursday. Thursday is one of the more productive days of the week, according to a study I once heard of, so forevermore it'll be that way. People feel good on Tuesdays and Thursdays of the week. I think I probably feel the best on the Tuesdays because that's Taco Tuesday. Noticed if you're watching the weird title that I gave to the live, and I have no idea what those words mean. I'm too old, not hip anymore. I bet saying the word hip isn't hip either. They got a little paddle boat. They paddle in their little tiny pond. Some horses standing next to some ancient ruins of limestone. There's lots and lots of limestone out this way. They use it to make fence posts because it's about a foot in width. So it's just perfect to make those sturdy fence posts. Okay, so make my turn. My husband, he flashed me like he always does. Love you! He's going into town to sell a total body gym, of course. What else would he be doing on a Thursday morning? We may take advantage of my mom's big storage facility in the back of her house. We may house some of our excess junk. It'd be a really nice place to put a studio as well. So we're thinking about doing that because we have a little studio that we do podcasts out of at our house, but our internet isn't that great, so we could do live streams out of the little storage hut at her house. It's funny, she's a little old lady, she just turned 80. That kind of rhymed. And she bought this home in the middle of town, and it has a huge double garage to start out with, and then behind it there's a huge, kind of like almost a garage. It's huge. And the man that sold her the house, he built that thinking, oh, there's gonna be some dude that's just gonna love this. So he sunk a lot of money into it before he sold the house, thinking, oh, this is a great investment. And then he sells it to a little old lady that I think she was in it one time. She was like, oh, this is what it looks like. But it's just this glorious shed out back that not many houses in the middle of town have. So I guess like if she ever goes to sell it, then it'll be an investment there. Finally be an investment. Here we are at the feed lot. Feed those black Angus cows. There they are. They have their cute little heads through the holes there. Enjoying their lunch. Had a good time today with the animals. I took the kitty cat. The kitty cat gets to go outside every day when I throw the ball for the dog. I don't let her stay outside all day because we have a lot of eagles and hawks and I want to keep her safe. Plus there's been a skunk that's been hanging around. I haven't smelled it lately, so maybe it's moved off, but it was hanging around quite a bit. We had some hunters that noticed that we had a skunk hanging out underneath our truck, and so they offered to shoot it. We didn't really want to shoot it though because it was so cute, but we told them, yeah, you need to shoot it because it can give us a lot of trouble. So the skunk, there's a nice old man there. The skunk decided to go towards the outskirts of our house and just stay around our house, and then I guess that was a smart thing to do because we couldn't shoot it. So hopefully it scurried off into other lands and it's not causing anybody any troubles. But skunks are so cute. We saw them with their little babies in the spring. Adorable. Actually, I think that was more towards the fall. They seem to have their babies in the summer and the fall. They have a hard time herding their young children around. You get frustrated so that they're out in the open for longer than what they'd like. It happens with the raccoons too. We've seen a lot of raccoon kits out here. Too cute. Sometimes they don't obey like they should, so they give their moms troubles. The raccoon mom is really protective. I would see the raccoon mom kind of have a standoff with the car. Like she would shoo her little kids into the fields, and then she would stand up as tall as she could and kind of have a showdown with my car, thinking she could take it on. She probably could. So forget about mother bears, you get mother raccoons. There's another ranch coming up here. They don't like this nice sunny weather. They don't like it too hot. They used to collect the hides from cows back in the Middle Ages, and they didn't know how to properly tan the hides, and so that's how people started to get tuberculosis. It's a bovine disease. So that's how it spread to people until we learned how to pasteurize the milk and properly tan the hides. sometimes tuberculosis can be cured by going to a warmer climate. Guess your body can fight off that bacterial infection itself. I remember one time I was going to school and we had to take get tested for TB or something like that, because a student had a dormant form of TB that was going to school with us. I guess they got treated and that was that, but we had to take some precautions because of it. I don't know who it was that had the TB. That's how the legend of vampirism got started, because they had the people wasting away that were deathly pale and they were coughing up blood, so they got the legend started of vampires, that they drink blood and they're the undead because they looked like they were dead practically. Plus, it used to be hip, just like in the 70s, it was in style to date like a really skinny guy. And back then, it was in style to date some guy dying of TB. I guess they're the more romantic, solemn type because they don't have any blood in them. I've always been one for the big strong men, because I figure you want to marry somebody that has a lot of assets that you don't have, like a lot of strength that you don't have and skills that you don't have is what you want to marry. So that's why I married my big strong Craig. How to do a lot of different types of construction too, so I'm happy for that. I like to learn new things all the time. I like to learn new things and forget old things all the time. Einstein said that the way that his brain worked is he didn't hold on to any unnecessary information in his brain. Like, he would often get lost and have to call his home phone number to find out where he even lived. And he would wander out, like one time he was on a boat trip and he would wander out into the balcony with just his underwear on. So he'd forget to get dressed. Another thing that was kind of fun about him is that he had a constitution where he had to watch his favorite cartoon every day. It's called Beanie or something like that. And he'd even interrupt important business meetings to go watch his cartoon. So he had the important things in life down. Maybe not all of them. Headed east. Went up to South Dakota the other day for my mom's birthday, and we had a fun time in the city of Yankton. We found a really great church there. So if we ever decide to move up that way, that would definitely be the church we'd want to go to. We used to go to Pine Grove Church in Roseburg, Oregon, and they're a very friendly church, and we were always welcomed there. Felt like part of the family. It's a good fellowship there. I remember visiting my parents' church, and there was quite the contrast from when you go to Pine Grove to when you go to their old church. They're very standoffish there, which I don't, not a fan of. Like those friendly churches, friendly people. I think if anybody had a choice, they would always prefer friendly people. Unless they're germaphobes, maybe. Couple of pipes sticking out of the floor that are remnants from heat registers. We used to have those ancient cast iron heat registers, which luckily Bob was able to remove because they were just leaky and no good. And so I had a couple of those pipes. I looked at them from underneath the floor. And of course, they're configured in such a way that you can't just easily remove them, of course. So I took a big old sledge and I slammed them down on the floor. I don't think I caused too much damage to those nice wood floors. I slammed it down, and I'm just going to cover it with a plate, just like a plate cover that you cover an old outlet with. And that seems like it will work and solve my problem, so I won't have holes in the floor. That's always a good thing when you go to sell a house, that you don't have any gaping holes in the floor. Whew, I'm going a little bit fast. Gotta slow her down. Guess I'm too excited to get to work. I love working when you can see that you're getting something accomplished. Which has been a bit of a frustration at this house because I have to, before I paint the wall, I have to mud it and fill in any holes, and then I have to wait for that to dry, and then I have to sand it down, and then I have to remove all the millions of nails because I'm removing the wood paneling from it. You have to do all these steps before you can get to the good stuff. But the walls are turning out pretty good in the living room. It looks really sharp because the inside has exquisite woodwork to it. It's just that it was kind of stylized towards the 1970s with all the wood paneling. I'd like to remove that, and I'm always happy when I remove that and I see that the walls are in good shape underneath it. One room, I'm going to leave the paneling up and just paint over it because there's no saving those walls unless I wanted to spend a lot of money and time. But in the living room, it's pretty good, solid walls. I did find underneath the wood paneling on two of the walls we got ourselves like 5 layers of wallpaper. I found something interesting about the green shaded wallpaper from Victorian era. You don't want to mess with that stuff because it's full of arsenic. And it was all the rage in the Victorian era to have this green wallpaper. Even Queen Victoria had some green wallpaper in her bedroom. she had an attendant that stood guard. I guess it would be the room outside of her bedroom. He stood guard outside of her bedroom all night, but he was standing up against the green wallpaper, and he quickly fell ill. I don't know if he recovered or not, but people would die from this green wallpaper. They die from arsenic poisoning. My old science teacher told us to stop burning plastic in class because that could kill you. And I didn't think so. I would continue to burn plastic outside. I didn't think it would kill you, but it actually does. Like that's what kills people off in a lot of fires, when they'll have a mild fire that maybe won't burn down the whole house, but it'll kill off people because I guess it releases cyanide when you burn plastic. So don't do that, people. Somebody might have hit a deer. It's either a deer or a raccoon out here. Every once in a while, a little possum. That is the fate of the possum. We used to feed possums at my parents' house when I was growing up, and they inevitably, like, we didn't live right next to the road. We had a significant driveway, but inevitably they would wind up being run over. That is the fate of the possum. One time a possum, I was driving down this road late at night, and a possum actually ran towards my tires. I had to slow down to a crawl, and it actually was trying to get run over. It was like a suicidal possum. I guess they don't see very well, and they just have a rough time of it out in the world. I think they're cute though. Funny looking eyes, but they're kind of cute. Go that way if you want to go to Concordia. Concordia has the Orphan Train Museum in it, which is something we have never gone to, but we definitely should. Maybe we could go there next week. It's a pity to live so close to something and never enjoy it. A lot of people live right next to Mount Rushmore and never gone to see it. There's not that problem with the beach though. Anybody that lives near the beach, they go to the beach. That's a happy people out today. The weather is pretty great. I think I wouldn't mind like freezing, like really cold weather below zero, as long as the wind's not blowing. It's not that bad. It takes a long time to seep through your clothes if the wind's not blowing, which is a problem with Wyoming, because it seems like every time we go through Wyoming, the wind is gusting like crazy. We even had to stop driving because the winds were so nutty, and have dinner until the winds died down, because we had gusts of like 60 miles per hour. It's like almost hurricane force winds. One time we were living in Smith Center, and they had a storm come through that had 100-mile-per-hour winds. It was so crazy. It was kind of fun to watch it because we had a house right in an old brick building that used to be a store that we lived out of right in the middle of town. And then we could see the wind like come through and like carry everything away with it. It was funny, my mom, she got new patio furniture out of the deal. Well, not really. Yeah, the people stuff was flying every which way. I even saw the roof being torn off of a building. It was like being in a tornado. Not that I would know because I had never been in a tornado. That was a really fun place to live because when the storms would come up, you could just look out of these ginormous windows that we had there. We had the storefront windows, and then up above it we had these huge picture windows for the bedroom windows, and you could look out there. And then we had easy access to the roof, so we could go out on the roof and watch the 4th of July fireworks. And we had a couple of illegal fireworks being set off in different places. Well, I don't think they're illegal here, but they had different fireworks show being set off in different parts of town and the official fireworks show. So you had like a 360 view of the fireworks. It was fun. You get pretty good gas mileage in this thing. Just had a quarter of a tank going when I started off. It's just dropped a little bit. Not bad. 5 a gallon. But then the prices shot up all of a sudden. I don't know why they would go down around holiday travel and go back up afterwards. That doesn't make any sense. But then again, not a lot of things make sense these days. Not a lot of things at all. This world is upside down. I was watching a video of going into McDonald's at 1988, and they went to the back rooms and through the kitchen, and they'd show all the workers there, and they were all camera shy because not used to having a cell phone pointed in their face all the time. And none of course, there was no cell phones back then, so everybody was engaged and talking to each other in the break room and not just on their phone ignoring each other. And it was weird because the people in the comment section were being nostalgic about a time in which they weren't even born yet. They said, it's funny, but I feel so, like yearning for that time, even though I wasn't even alive back then and never experienced it. But yeah, they're right. They did miss out. Life has changed quite a bit after the internet, that's for sure. I don't think, it's easy to look back and think that everything was great back then, because it wasn't. And I believe there's a lot less opportunity back then as well to make a living. Like, there's only certain ways that you can do it, whereas with the internet now, the possibilities are endless on how you can make a living. It just increased commerce so much. Back then you could have a garage sale, but you couldn't sell anything online. You couldn't make your money by being a content producer. You'd have to get through the regular lines of traffic in order to get on television, and it was more difficult to make a living back then, I believe. But things weren't as expensive either. Yeah, it was a simpler time, but I don't know. I kind of like living nowadays better. because I can't just give up the phone and not be on it, like when I get overwhelmed. And when I'm not overwhelmed and I want entertainment instantly, I have it at my fingertips and I can listen to any song I've ever wanted to hear instantly. And it's a lot of instant gratification and entertainment that makes life more exciting, I think. So I think that if you want to, internet can make your life more exciting than it would have been without it. But yeah, you definitely were closer to people back in the day. And I don't know, I think the internet allowed me to get to know people a little bit better because I was shy. I didn't like to really talk to people that I would see face to face. But if somehow in a chat room, it's so easy. Okay, well, all done with driving to my fixer-upper. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed coming along for the ride. And you have a wonderful day, and God bless you.